is a rainy storm checking in for Mercury and Taurus. Let me get adjusted for y'all real quick. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm in that light. In that light. Hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody's doing swell. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Wait a minute. 1 second. Okay. I think we all right. I had this thing clipped. It's a little rigged, but we're making it work because that's what we do. Okay. You gonna stay with me? All right. All right. Here we go. Anyway, for those of y'all checking in for the first time, my name is Crew, aka a rainy storm. I am your cosmic rootwork astrologist specializing in evolutionary astrology. All right. Well, right now I am in the mix of also studying deeper into astrocartography and also holistic astrology as well. Okay, so if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you could definitely hit me up. All those links are below. At this moment, I am currently offering evolutionary astrology readings, astrocartography readings, and also general readings as well. And I have a few announcements before we start and jump right into Mercury and Taurus. But I hope everybody's been doing good. I hope everybody's been doing swell as we are now entering into, like I said, this Mercury and Taurus transit. I hope it's feeling real chill for y'all. I hope it's feeling more slow, more steady, and things like that. Okay, so a couple of announcements before we get into it. First and foremost, I do want to talk about, I did talk about the readings, courses. I do have the Healing Your Chironic Wounds, particularly for the Aries part of your chart. So if you're interested, those courses are also available in those links. I did pin the link in the chat, so if you're in the chat, the link is in the chat, but if not, the link is in the description box. Also too, make sure that y'all join my Substack as well. That link is also down below, so any updates, and it's also for free. It's a free subscription. All you need is your email. So all of the updates that I do have, you can also see that in the, well, anytime I post anyway, it's sent straight to your email and things like that. So if you want to hear more from me, you can definitely check that out as well. Also too, the last but not least, if you would like to buy me a ginger beer to support my, I'm at the goal, what did I say? I'm at the goal right now of 360. Well, actually 355. Shout out to Mystic. Is it Mystic Living? I think Mystic Living, after the last live, helped a little bit on that Astrocarthopgraphy software. So I'm basically raising funds to get the software to do, I mean, I can already do astrocartography readings, but this software goes even more in depth. And also with the project that I'm doing with my Astro travels, it would basically help support those readings as well. And also just the overall project in itself. So if you would like to support that, you can definitely do that as well. And yeah, that's what I have for it. Once again, thank you, Mystic Living, for being the first to support. I definitely do appreciate you for that. Now, we are going to talk a little bit about the, not only Mercury and Taurus, but some of the transits that are going to be coming up with Mercury specific, and also honorable mentions with Venus as well, and also Sun. Two transits that are coming up that I wanted to talk a little, I'm not going to talk too much about them, but you know, we're going to have to talk about it because it's like once in a lifetime in this particular time and moment right now. So, and also, I think that's about it what we'll have here. And then at the end, you know, I'll probably do like 3 readings. So if somebody, you know, if anybody wants to know like your, you know, what could be happening for you at this moment in time, I'll do some short readings towards the end. So definitely. So yeah, also too, if you are in the chat, make sure you say hi, hello in the chat. Or if you also, I forgot to say, like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Share this with a friend, you know, those things, great things. Spread the love, spread the knowledge and things. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Mercury in Taurus. All right, I have to say, you know, as Mercury slid into Taurus, and I was walking back to the crib yesterday, it was giving lovey-dovey. It was giving very lovey-dovey. Now, Venus is in Taurus right now, and also Mercury is in Taurus at this time. And I mean, I guess, and Taurus is Venusian, so I get it, right? But I was seeing a lot of like love in the club. Not that I was in the club, but I'm just seeing like, you know, holding hands, people holding hands with each other, and people, you know, going into their little corners to make out and kissy, ooh, ah, yay. And I was like, okay, Mercury and Taurus. Not to say I wasn't seeing this with Mercury and Aries, but like, it's so visible right now. It's so visible, like the spring showers and love and things like that in the air. And now I do want to say, on the contrast of those things, I want to say rest in peace to my baby, my Tofi, I should say. Today, my little runt baby cat passed away this morning, and I actually buried him a couple of hours ago. So I just want to say rest in peace to my baby. Even though you were here for a short period of time, I really did appreciate the times that we did have and the time that you spent with me, you and your sister, because your sister's been missing for a couple of days. So I'm just charging it to the game and just saying, you know, rest in love and rest in peace and things like that. So actually, this video is going to go to you, Tofi, specifically for that. But all in all, I do want to say love is definitely in the air with Mercury and Taurus. Now, when we talk about the energy of Mercury and Taurus here, we're talking about Mercury, which is the communication god. It is the keeper, not only of, I don't want to say time, but not fully. I would say Chronos more so. But, you know, Taurus or Mercury is the way we think. It is also the way we communicate. So definitely look to see where Mercury is in your personal chart. But all in all, this Mercury energy that we are experiencing and that we're having is how we are thinking and how we are communicating collectively, okay, at this moment and at this time. It's all the tricklings of the mind here when we talk about Mercury energy. Also, too, when we talk about the energy of Taurus, Taurus is very slow. It's very methodical. It's not like Mercury and Aries. Mercury and Aries wants to get things done very quick, very fast, in a hurry. Mercury and Taurus is very slowed and steady in its speech and communication, and also when it comes to planning. For example, I want to use an example, and even though Mercury wasn't necessarily in Taurus at this particular time, Venus is in Taurus, along of course with the Sun in Taurus, and now Mercury in Taurus. I've noticed this especially because we're talking about food when it comes to Taurus as well, when it comes to like cooking. Sometimes I know before Mercury and Taurus, or like as we were coming into Taurus season, like as I'm cooking, I will eat as I'm cooking. Granted, I love to eat. So, you know, there's that. But I noticed as Mercury is transiting through, or Mercury came into Taurus, it was coming into Taurus, and as we're going through this Taurus season, I've noticed that I want to set everything up before I eat. So I want to make sure that I have my drinks. I want to make sure that I have like, you know, I have my palette dressed, you know, and everything's looking all good. I turn on my show. I find out what I want to, you know, watch for the evening or watch for the night or whatever the case may be. Like I was last Sunday after I got off the live, I went and watched. I was basically tuning in for the first episode of Interview with the Vampire. And so I noticed with this Mercury Taurus energy, or moving into this Mercury Taurus energy, instead of me eating as I cooked, I set everything, found the show, you know, got my stuff together, and then I came, sat, got relaxed, then I ate. Instead of like Mercury and Aries where you're like, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to do like 50 million things at once. You're trying to do this over here. You're trying to do this over there. Like Mercury and Taurus slows the mind. It slows the thoughts. There's more attention even to detail when it comes to Taurus. You know, there's more options, I would even say, with Taurus, because you're moving, your mind or your mental is moving from a slower pace. And when your mind and your mental is moving from a slower pace, you make better decisions than when you're trying to make you know, abrupt or quick, fast, you know, decisions, or I wouldn't even say speaking out of turn, but more so maybe saying stuff that you probably just can't take back. So Taurus thinks about things before it speaks. Like I said, it's prepared, you know. Also too, since we're talking about Venus here, this could have to do a lot, especially this transit, with, you know, romantic connections. And also, even if it's not romantic connections, these are personal connections that you have with another, or personal connections that you have with people around you. It's very intimate with Mercury and Taurus, like I said, whether it's romantically or you're just wanting to connect with other people on a very one-on-one level and learning from new people and things, or learning new things from people and stuff like that as well. I am going to share also too, I did go to a language class yesterday. It's like a language exchange here. I'm learning Spanish at the moment, and I'm also going to be learning Mayan, the Mayan language as well, while I'm here in the Yucatan. And so that was a very interesting conversation, and I'm going to share a little bit more about what that conversation was about on my Astrocarthopgraphy, on my Astro Travel series. I should be dropping the Astro Travel series this Sunday, but don't quote me on it. But just some of the things that I've learned. But I do want to share a little snippet before we get into like the transits and things like that that I picked up on, or some of the things that were coming to me during this time. But first, let me talk a little bit about more of the energy of Mercury and Taurus as well. And I did talk a little bit about it in Jupiter and Gemini as well too, but just to extend. Slow, steady, methodical, purposeful, grounded, a little bit more passive energy, but very patient. Like I said, it's, you know, it's kind of like, it's not necessarily the Emperor energy, it's more the Empress. If we're talking about tarot, Taurus rules the Empress card. So the Empress kind of sits on its throne and is receptive. It allows things to come to it instead of feeling like it has to like toe the line to get to it, or like rush to get to it and things like that. I know personally for me, I was so, especially when it comes to some of the things that I was doing or trying to initiate with Mercury and Aries, I was so like, you know, putting all this energy in like, okay, well, maybe I can do this instead, or like, oh, okay, well, maybe I could do this, or da da da. Now that Mercury's in Taurus, I'm like, okay, the gig is up. I'm putting my hands up. I'm surrendering to the process instead of having to feel like I have to force my hand to make things happen. Now I'm opening myself up to the universe. All right. I'm not trying to sound cheesy or nothing like that, but really opening myself up to the universe and allowing things to just come to me and not trying to force the hand. Okay. Not trying to force how things can show up in my life. Not trying to center my mind around, well, okay, well, it has to show up like this, or it must have to be like this, or no. I'm just allowing myself to surrender now. And that's what this Mercury and Taurus energy wants us to do, is to kind of more so sit back, to be at rest, and then intuitively, because, you know, Taurus is very intuitive in nature, is more grounded, so therefore intuitive, can make decisions from a grounded and practical manner and a grounded and practical base here. Okay. So we have that with Taurus as well here. Also too, as we talk about practicality, we talk about stubbornness. Like I said, in that Jupiter and Gemini, when we was talking about Mercury and Taurus a little bit, it can be very hard to change your mind with Mercury and Taurus, or somebody else's mind. So let's say that you are, you know, talking about a certain subject or something like that. Mercury and Taurus can be a little bit more fixated to his thoughts. It's a little bit more fixated to its belief systems and how it feels and where it's coming from. Hey, Vivi, what's going on, Vivi? I hope you enjoyed your birthday. I really do hope you enjoyed that birthday. But yes, more so fixated to its ideals, more so fixated to its beliefs as well. Also too is thinking about the long term. Taurus, this is the perfect time with Mercury and Taurus, whether that's like, for example, you tending to a garden, right? Maybe you are learning how to garden, or learning how to, like I said, cook new things or make new things in this particular transit and things like that. Or maybe you have like thinking about practical visions of the things that you have set forth in the future. And this doesn't necessarily just have to be materially. I know we could talk about Mercury and Taurus that has something to do with like the finances and also like valuables and things. But this is just like even value with yourself. You know, this can go from anywhere from like how you're speaking to yourself, how you're communicating with yourself, how you're talking to yourself, the thoughts that are going into your mind and coming out, looking around to see what's manifesting around you and to you, and being in that place of receptivity. If you need to take a nap during this time, because Taurus is good for naps, take a nap, rest, go take a walk, maybe go into a space or place, that you've, oh, I'm sorry, BB, somebody's birthday was in that last live. I thought it was you. I swore it was you. I'm so sorry. My bad. I thought that was you celebrating the birthday. Well, not too far from it, the way this time is going. So, happy early birthday. Let me be the first to tell you, since it's not October yet. But, but yeah, Taurus, slow. Take your time with it. You don't have to have it all figured out at this moment and point in time. You can relax. You can be. You can sit and receive in this time with Mercury and Taurus. Okay? And also, too, it's a very sensual time. So, like throwing pole dancing. If you like the pole dance, or if you just want to get nice and intimate and, get to know the most intimate parts of yourself, or write that love letter, or watch Bridgerton tomorrow, because the season is dropping tomorrow. All right, the new season is amongst us tomorrow. So things like that, just relaxing in the moment and things like that. This is the perfect time to do so. Or with the lover or lovers, whatever floats your fancy, things as well. All right, now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the transits that are coming up with Mercury and Taurus, and honorable mentions, Sun in Taurus and Venus in Taurus. So tomorrow we have Mercury in Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius. So Mercury in Taurus, like I said, all the things that we just talked about with Mercury in Taurus here, and then Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto having to do with the psyche, Pluto having to do with the mind, and also things that are shifting, things that are changing. Aquarius, okay, because not only is it Saturnian rule, but it's Uranian rule. So these are things that are like catastrophic change, and Aquarius has to do with the mind. It is fixed air. So maybe here with Mercury and Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius, you definitely want to see where those placements are in your particular, I would say, birth chart, what is happening in those places. But if we're talking about the transit in general, this is maybe where your mental capacities and fixations, the way you think, the way you speak, or the way you communicate could be shifting at this time. Because it's a square. Square usually means there's some type of tension between the two, or like something that's rubbing up against each other in this energy. And squares doesn't necessarily have to be in tension. Honestly, I like to look at squares not just as like tension or something rough. This is just, I would say placements, especially squares and oppositions, are just a place where you can grow and where you can evolve. Trines and sextiles are more of the energies that kind of work, hand in hand together, or it might be a little bit easier in your life to navigate these energies, or it can even be excessive sometimes. There could be an excessive energy, but squares and oppositions are a necessary growth. So when you see those like red lines in your chart, don't look at it as like, oh my God, why are these red lines? No, it's just a place to challenge you, to make you think about something differently, or to make you go about something differently. And so look at it more so as an opportunity for growth. So maybe your mental capacities are changing at this time, the way you're thinking or the way you're communicating is shifting at this time. Maybe you resonated with something particularly before, and now in this particular moment in time, whatever area this is in your chart, you're like, actually, I don't. So I'll use myself as an example. As a Pisces rising, I have Mercury in the third house of my chart, which is the way I think, the way I communicate, travel. It's the Gemini house, all these things, relatives, family, cousins, uncles, brothers, cousins, sisters, things like that. And then I have Pluto is transiting my 12th house in Aquarius. And one thing that's been coming up for me is the way that I think and the way that I am being in the mode of receptivity, which is why I talked about those things. But Taurus is receptivity, is being receptive to the energetic flow. For me, it's been a tug or a push and pull of this particular area of my life, of not the ways in which, not necessarily, I don't think it's necessarily all physical, because I would definitely say just, not just physically, but just all around, I do feel very abundant as a person. But I think this is more so shifting the ways I'm looking at how I'm going about my abundant manifestations, and physical abundant manifestations, but also mental abundant manifestations. I think my mind sometimes can get fixated on how things should look or how things should be and how things should be coming to me, and me being the I wouldn't even say messenger, but more so of like me feeling like I have to take the reins in order to make things happen, when now the universe is trying to open up something different for me. They're like, you said that you want to just exist and be taken care of, and you want to exist and be taken care of by the universe, so you're able to not only take care of yourself, but you're able to take care of other people with ease and with flow. But now we're challenging you to be in a space of ease and flow, and be open and receptive to things being able to come to you from all different directions and places, and you don't have to control that anymore. You've been in that place, and now it's time to switch the way you're seeing those things. Switch and flip the script in the ways that you are receiving this abundance that wants to come in for you. And so that's something that's been happening in my life, of like trying to switch my perspective. I've been doing a lot of mind, what is it called? I forget exactly what it's called, but just mind, listening to a lot of things that have to do with like the mind, and shifting the mind, and like, I hate to say, y'all know I hate to say reprogram, because it sounds too much like a computer when you say reprogramming the mind, but like really releasing like old mainframe beliefs of like where I used to like feel like I had to, even if it's subconsciously, so moving through those ideas and beliefs, and then adopting or adapting to something different and something new that's in more alignment of what I want, which is to be at ease and receive. We don't have to do to receive. We can just be and be able to receive. And I think because we live in such a society that tells us that we have to be doing something in order to be valuable, Taurus, or to receive, Taurus, that's how we create abundance or bring things into our life, when really it's the opposite of that. Now, I'm not saying that you can't meet the universe halfway, but energetically, it's really just what you're putting out there. It's not necessarily have to be physically what you're doing here. And so that's one of the things that can happen, especially when it comes to this Taurus, Mercury in Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius transit, is shifting the perspective and shifting the mind, shifting the mental. Okay, so on the 18th, I know I said I want to do a little honorary mention of Venus and Sun, because I'm not going to talk too much about it, but just know that these transits are coming up. We will have Venus in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus, okay? So I'll just do like a little honorable mention of what could be happening during this time. It could be some type of like, because Venus and Taurus is home in Venus here. So there could be some upgrades in the material areas, depending on where it is in your chart. But material gains, romantic relationships, maybe you do some type of weekend getaway, or maybe there's some surprise partnerships or trips or something that could come up in this particular time and moment that's out of the blue, out of nowhere. Uranus in Taurus, maybe because Venus or Taurus rules finances and money. Maybe you get a windfall of money somewhere. Maybe you go on like a date or something like that, or go and link up with somebody or a group of people and just have just a beautiful time with them and stuff like that. So these serendipitous things could be happening. This week is alone, okay? Like from now into next week, as we move into Jupiter and Gemini, is going to be like stuff kind of just happening out of nowhere. And it's not to say that this stuff is happening out of nowhere. It's really just about like, honestly and truly, just like a buildup of energy that has like basically is going to basically combust during this time. So let me know as we are on this live in the comments if there's anything that has been happening or been bubbling up to the surface for you, I would love to know in the comments or on the live chat if there's anything that's been happening in your world that you're like, wow, or maybe there's something that's been trying to communicate to you that you're maybe seeing like different patterns of over and over and over again, or stuff that's just been coming up, or even your dreams could be communicating to you. I know for me personally, especially with Mercury and Taurus, I've been getting a lot of downloads because Taurus also rules like music, poetry. You know, it's a speaking voice. It's the way you know, not just Mercury itself, but it's your throat chakra. I've been getting a lot of downloads of music. So like I'll be like nobody at all, like just chilling, minding my business, and it's like music playing in my head, like music being channeled in my head. Like the last song that I heard was you know, it was El DeBarge. Ooh, and I like it. Da-da-da. You bring chills up my spine every time I take one look at you. I like it. I like it. I've been hearing that. I've been hearing Toasted Up by Neo. Champagne Lies. And granted, Taurus is luxury, regality. Okay, it's the finer things in life. It's the quantity over quantity. Okay, it's those types of things. So these songs that have been channeling, I'm like, okay, champagne nights and we play all day. Let's toast it up. What I've been hearing that. I've been hearing what's the Future song I've been hearing? It's a Future song that I've been hearing. It's not Diamonds Dancing. I forget exactly what it is. I have to post it up when I hear it. But it's been I don't know if y'all remember that song, When We Ball in the Club, I Know You Hate It. Mommy dancing on the floor like she naked. Mommy lay down with you and songs. All my girls give it to me, I ain't gotta take it. Oh, we pop champagne. Oh. And first of all, I ain't heard this song since, what was that, high school? I was like, I think a senior in high school. Or like, I think maybe it was like a year after I graduated high school. I graduated high school in 2010. So like, I haven't heard that song since then. So it was just like, if you in the things I'm in, shawty, we can be friends. Right now, I want to see you dance. Like, so I've been getting a lot of musical like downloads that have been coming to me, specifically like just channeled energy and things like that. So let me know in the comments, or let me know in the live chat like what's been coming up for y'all since we have like been moving into Mercury and Taurus. Okay, so then we have Sun going into Gemini this upcoming week, and it will be trining Pluto in Aquarius, which this is going to be the first time we've had a Gemini season with Pluto being in Aquarius. So we have two air being Gemini, mutable air, and then we have fixed air, okay, in Aquarius, and then we'll be forming a trine. Trines usually means we are working together to create something bigger. The air trine is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. We will create something as a team to make something bigger work together, okay? So Gemini, the sun being in Gemini, the sun moving into Gemini. Gemini is the great communicator, okay? I like to say this honestly, personally, as messages from the divine. You know, if we look at Aquarius, or the energy of Aquarius in general, it's the upper echelon of Mercury. It's the higher octave of Mercury, okay? So definitely look out for dream signals. Definitely look out, like maybe you feel like you need to write more. I'm even being called to say some of y'all need to be writing in your journals more. Some of y'all need to be writing your dreams more. And I'm not just talking about dreams of like what you want to quote unquote manifest or bring into this world, but like what you are dreaming about when you sleep, okay? You know, you could be having like just intergalactic downloads happening at this time. You could have maybe, I would even say messengers of spirit pop into your life at this time as well. You know, you could have people that maybe you know, are just having in regular conversation with on the street. You can have people that just come into your life as a messenger. So I would even say at this time, maybe take some time to kind of be outside if you can. Hi, Imani. What's going on, boo? What's happening? Oh, okay. Yeah, also too, as I hear that, be careful on the road at this time as well, because Pluto is here. Pluto also rules death. It can also be like emergency situations and accidents. So definitely be careful on the road. Gemini is travel. So definitely be careful on, what day is this? The 22nd, and up and around this time of like traveling to different places and things like that. But for the most part, I would definitely say if you can get into like your community spaces, get outside, talk to people. If you can engage in like social situations with this transit, I would definitely recommend it. It's a great time for learning something new, a great time for using your hands, building something as well, or just writing, drawing, talking, speaking, anything of that nature as well. Okay. Also, we're going to have Venus conjunct Taurus, Venus conjunct Jupiter in Taurus as well, on the 23rd. Right. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to talk too much about Venus conjunct Jupiter in Taurus. Just know that this week, specifically with this Gemini kind of Taurian energy coming through in the mix, it's going to be a powerful week. So use this energy as much as you can. If you want to know a little bit more about Venus and Taurus, you can definitely, or me talking about Venus and Taurus conjunct Jupiter and Taurus, I did talk about it in the Jupiter Gemini video if you have not seen that already. But we're going to move on to the 27th, which is Mercury in Taurus. And it will sextile Saturn in Pisces. Okay. And so we've had this transit happen. We had this transit happen last year. So I would definitely say what was going on during this time when Venus, our Mercury conjunct Saturn in Pisces last year. But Saturn in Pisces is basically making pipe dreams real. I like to say it solidifies a foundation in this area. So anything that has to do with like, what's up, baby? Anything that has to do with long-term planning, long-term, any type of long-term plans that you are wanting to make real. So maybe you had like an idea that you wanted to put into fruition or something like that. And you're like, you know what? I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do that. This would be the perfect time to like allow yourself to like, maybe you're creating like a, I don't know, a vision board of some sort. Maybe you're creating some type of, I don't know, some new long-term plans or something like that. And don't let yourself be limited. I want to say this too. Don't let yourself be limited to what you can see, especially with Mercury sextile Saturn and Pisces. You know, Mercury and Taurus definitely wants to see things on the long-term plans and stuff like, okay, is it feasible for me to do these things? Is it possible practically to do these things? But with Saturn and Pisces, even though it does give you this, I would say, grounded capacity of sorts, there's an energy here that allows you to kind of be like, okay, well, I can still dream big and make these things happen. I just have to kind of write it down, put it down, know and believe that those things to be true, and then take the little steps to make those things happen little by little. You know, like I said, methodically, whatever you want to say, with Mercury transiting Taurus here. Okay. And last but not least, and then after this, we'll get into, if you would like to do like a quick reading where this could be happening for you based on your rising sign, you could definitely drop in the comments below and I will try to get to you. I'm only going to be doing 3 people, and then I'll basically wrap this up after that. Now we'll have Mercury in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus, okay? So this could be communication from somebody. Specifically, this could have to do with uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins. This could be with like a romantic partnership, or maybe like even though we're not in a Mercury retrograde, maybe this is like an old connection or something like that coming back or something. Yeah, this could be coming back. There could be some like unexpected communication coming in. This could be through email. This could be through text messages. This could be through, like I said, a messenger on the street. Something that has to do with communication coming in literally out of nowhere. Okay, quick, fast, in a hurry during this time. And that's, like I said, on the 30th of May. So if y'all would like to, let me know if you have by rising sign. If you have, like I said, I'm only taking 3 people. If you have some, transit or something like that that you would like to know about, or particularly upcoming with Mercury and Taurus, how this will be affecting you. I would be happy to talk about what that could be doing for you. Granted, I don't see your whole chart, so I don't know exactly how, but I can definitely talk about how Mercury might be playing out for you during this time based on your rising sign. So let me know what it is, what it ain't, and what it do. All right? I'm gonna put some music on real quick, but let me see real quick. Let's see. Oh no, I have my thing muted, so I could do it. Scorpio rising. Oh, Scorpio risings. I'm always moved by Scorpio risings. They tend to follow me everywhere I go. Anyway, for Scorpio rising, this is going to be happening. Mercury is going to be happening in your, or transiting your 7th house of romantic connections and also relationships, business partnerships as well, and any kind of energies that mirror you. Maybe at this time, I would say with Mercury transiting your 7th house, maybe you can either be communicating with a maybe past relationship. This can be romantic, or this could be not, even if it's not a romantic thing. This could be like a maybe like old partnership. It could also be business partnerships. Maybe you're also being gifted something at this time, because Taurus is about the resources, and so maybe there's somebody coming in from your intimate connections or something like that that you can have, that could be gifting you with something, like I don't know, a gift of some sort, or maybe like a message that you get out of nowhere, out the blue. Or maybe like something serendipitous happens where you end up meeting somebody new, either romantically, or this could even be like just platonically, and y'all end up being like really, really close. Or if it's not just something that's going to be in long term, which usually, Taurus is long term, but we do have like aspects to Pluto. So like, Pluto in Aquarius. So it could be like, long term or short term. Maybe you end up connecting with somebody from your family, from your roots even, or maybe even wanting to dig deeper into your roots during this time, because Pluto is also going to be here with Mercury in Taurus. Maybe you're uncovering some stuff from your family home and roots during this time with Mercury transiting through Taurus, wanting to know about like, some, these are the patterns that we have from home, and digging those things up, especially with Pluto moving through Taurus at this time. Maybe the ways in which you, I don't know, maybe you end up having like a really just intense, I would say, conversation. And I say intensity because you do have a Scorpio rising, and it'll be opposing your ascendant. So maybe you end up having like a very intense but like transformational conversation with either like a family member or an intimate partner, or just an intimate connection that comes into your life out of nowhere, that like really changes your perspective of your worldview, or how you look at relationships with people and things like that. I know it's can be sometimes a little hard for Scorpio rising to kind of let people in. So maybe you end up meeting somebody, or having some type of conversation with somebody that makes you feel comfortable enough to like open yourself up and express, and maybe talk about some things that have been like, maybe talking about some things that have been like really on your mind that you wanted to talk about but didn't feel comfortable enough with talking to just anybody about. And like maybe you end up connecting with somebody who you feel really comfortable to just talk to about stuff. Like you're just like, what, maybe you end up getting into therapy, or I don't know, maybe seeing some type of, because Mercury usually has to do with like of course messengers, spirits, and things like that. Maybe you end up getting intimately connected with like a healer, or just somebody who can help you work through some things that have been like, I don't know why I want to say like plaguing the spirit or plaguing the mind or something like that. I just see, especially because Mercury and Taurus is fixed energy, and Mercury is the ways in which we think and communicate. This is definitely something that your mind could have been fixated, or has been fixated to for a long time. And so Mercury and Taurus is basically, because it's slowing down now at this time, really squalling those things out, like really working through those like things. Like I said, specifically has to do with relationships. Definitely, for sure. Most definitely. So that's what I see for you, Imani. And it's so funny, I just talked to my homegirl. Well, about to. I've been texting her, but just talked to my homegirl, Imani, too. We haven't talked in a long time. It's been a while since we talked. We just connected, and her name is also Imani, too. You know what? It's interesting because every Imani that I've met has always been just really solid individuals. Like, I haven't met an Imani yet that wasn't like, I don't know, just like very intricate part of my life, whether that was just in passing or, yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, no problem, boo. Any other people? I got two more people by rising sign here. If you would like to, before I kind of go ahead and conclude this live for Mercury and Taurus. Oh, I also do want to say too, this Saturday, if I'm able to, I'm gonna ask them if it's okay if I do it, as a part of my Astro traveling and Astrocarthopgraphy journeys. I'm going to be going over to the library because there's going to be a talk about, his name is Tomas, and Tomas is going to be talking about his archaeological, he's in, I always get and it's not an archaeologist, it's arthropology, anthropology and stuff. Basically, he's a keeper of like records and history specifically for the Mayan and Aztec culture. And as a part of my astrocartography journey, these are some of the things that I'm going to be exploring and talking about through Mayan culture and Mayan history and astrology. But he will be talking about his discoveries in Kunik, which is a ruined Mayan temple, this Saturday at 11 p.m. Or 11 a.m., I'm sorry. And so that will be like 1 p.m. EST. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, 1 p.m. EST. So if you're interested in coming through for that, I'm going to try to set it up live or try to go live. Like I said, I got to ask him first if it's okay, if he minds, but I would definitely be going basically live for that so we can talk or hear him talk about his discoveries in Kunik and the Mayan ruins that he will be or that he has uncovered in his trip. Can I do Pisces rising for your wife? Yes. Hello, Pisces rising wife, from Pisces rising to Pisces rising. So for Pisces rising, Mercury and Taurus will be going through the third house of communication. So travel, this can be short distance travel. This can be relatives or family members at this time. This can be singing, writing. Maybe you find yourself writing more at this time, journaling more. Maybe the dream, I don't know about you, but the dream world been crazy. The dream world has been very active, and there's a lot of messages coming through for the dream stakes. You could also have a lot of communication from family at this current time. And even if it's not like communication like directly with family, there could be like a family member that could be communicating with you about family or family matters. You could be planning a trip to also go somewhere at this time, or there could be a surprise trip coming up for you to go somewhere or travel somewhere at this particular time as well. Your mental, I would say the way you think about things, the way that your mental could be shifting during this time. Taurus going through the third house, once again, is very fixed. So there are certain old beliefs or ideals that are basically crumbling at this time. And so especially with like this energy that's connected to Pluto in Aquarius in that 12th house. So there also could be a lot of like old memories coming up as well too, like things that you thought that you were done kind of thinking about, or things that you thought that were kind of like laid to rest and kind of over. You could not notice like those things coming up or bubbling up to the surface at this time, especially the way you think and communicate, especially with your like things that have come subconsciously from like past lives, and things that have come subconsciously from like childhood as well too, that you're clearing at this moment in time. Yeah, especially with Mercury. I would definitely say if it's called on you to sing, if it's called on you to dance, if it's called on you to shake a leg at this time for wifey Pisces rising, I would definitely say to do that at this time. Allow yourself to get loose. Allow yourself to explore different places in your neighborhood as well, or just places that you maybe have never gone to, maybe you've never been to or seen. You could be like exploring new places at this time, getting into conversations. If there's something that you wanted as a Pisces rising to study or learn something about at this time, it would be a great time to learn something new, to study something new, to plan also too for a few to plan also too. She's a singer, that's dope. To plan for the future of something. Also too, it's very artistic time. So if you're an artist, not just for singing, but also too for like painting, for you know, maybe you wanna, I don't know, get into an art exhibit or something like that. I know for me as a Pisces rising, I don't know about you, but you could tell me. I've been thinking about one of my bucket list things to do this year is to enter my artwork into an art exhibit as well. And so I've been working on a couple pieces, or I guess the rough draft of a couple pieces that I want to work on at this time and stuff like that as well too for an exhibition. So anything that has to do with art, anything that has to do with creative expression, writing, singing, poetry, anything that has to do, even maybe if you want to cook, maybe you want to go and start learning new recipes or exploring new recipes. Also too at this point in time, especially when it comes to your health and wellness, you know, Taurus is about what you ingest, and it's what you ingest physically, but also the things that you are ingesting in your environment as well. So if you also too want to say this, if you're waking up and you're jumping to your phone, maybe sleeping without the phone, if you're doom scrolling at this time, because especially with Mercury in Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, you could find yourself glued to like the internet and or glued to like a screen and things like that. So trying to take more downtime to not be so fixated into the phone and take more time to like write and sit with your thoughts and be in nature. Being in nature is a beautiful time to be so as well. You know, eat something good. Like I said, cook something good. You know, watch a show that you actually watch a show that you really, really, really like at this time. Rest when you need, you know. And allow the messages of spirit to come through for you. You know, instead of forcing the hand, allow the universe to speak with you and communicate with you and intuitively guide you to whatever it is that you need to, I would say, sit with, or I don't know, just stay open, fellow Pisces rising, okay? So that's what I have for wifey Imani. And tell her I'm sending my love, because, you know, it's been rough these past couple months. It's been rough for us Pisces risings, you know, so definitely sending my love for sure. And one more, if anybody is in the chat, before I go ahead and wrap this up, by rising sign, I could talk a little bit about Mercury in Taurus for you. No problem. Thank you. Anybody else want to take a gander at Mercury in Taurus here? It's in the chat. Say hello in the chat if you don't want to have a reading here. I don't know who is all in the chat. I see a couple people in the chat, but I don't know who's in the chat right now. If not, we will go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Oh God, I just got sleepy out of nowhere. I don't know what that's about. Or I just got a wind of like, whatever. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up. You already know what it is. It is a rainy storm. Oh, it's all good, BB. What's good, BB? Welcome back, welcome back. I was just about to wrap it up and everything like that. For Mercury and Taurus, I was talking about Mercury and Taurus in the last... Is this another reading from the other day? This is talking about Mercury and Taurus. So it's particularly, maybe I did talk about Mercury and Taurus. I think I talked more so about Jupiter and Gemini. No, what I talked about last time was Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So this is for Mercury in Taurus. What Mercury in Taurus could be doing in the wherever Taurus is a part of your house based on your rising sign here. So a little bit different here. So if you want, maybe so. Maybe not. Yes, no. All right. We're going to wrap this thing on up, y'all. The link is pinned to this post if you are in the chat. But if not, you can definitely hit me up on the Leo Rising. Let's see. So Taurus for you is in your, I think that's the 10th house. I think I remember talking a little bit about what we was talking about here. I do remember your reading. I do. I remember your reading when we did talk about that. I didn't talk about Mercury and Taurus per se, but I think I did touch on Sun conjunct Taurus in that 10th house. This has to do, of course, with your 10th house public standing. This has to do with your, I would say, public persona, and things like that. Your mission and purpose in life. Western astrology, tropical astrology usually has to do with the career of choice. But usually, all in all, this has to do with the legacy. So it's about you speaking on that platform. I remember, BB. I remember you up in that chat. You got to start speaking out. I said that Scorpio in that 4th house wants to hide, right? It wants to cover itself up a little bit. But the Leo rising is going to be supporting you in that. Now you might start to feel the need to want to speak on things, especially because Mercury is now in Taurus. So now you might start being like, okay, no, I need to say something about this. Now I need to speak on these things. Maybe it's something that you got going on at work. Maybe it's something that you have going on at I don't know. Maybe it's something where you have to go speak to somebody. You have to go and talk to somebody at this time, or talk publicly. Maybe you're making a presentation or something, or just like I said, you're just changing the way of your scope, your mission, the ways in which you want to I don't know, it's just your speech is going to change. The ways in which you are communicating, the ways in which you are getting your message out is going to change. And it could also change on the platform. Girl, I cried the other day when I was making a video. Poor baby, no. It's coming up. It's all coming up. It's all coming up. It's all coming up from the childhood. It's all coming up from, that inner child, those inner child wounds, especially with Mercury and Taurus. And I think I talked about that on Sun conjunct Taurus. All those stuff is coming up at this time. But keep at it. Even if it's something that you're sharing with yourself, just turn on the camera and start talking. Think about it like this. Okay, think about it as, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just talk to myself as like I was talking to my friends. Okay, maybe finding a friend that you could FaceTime or talk to on the phone, and just talk to them while you're recording yourself talking to your friend, and then just having them on mute. You know what I'm saying? While you talking to them online or something like that. I don't know, just something like that, but keep at it. Keep talking to yourself. Keep working through those fears, or keep working through those things that make you hesitant about speaking publicly on the platform. And when you do post that, when you do get to the point where you post it, send the link to me because I want to see it. Okay? I would love to see it. Email it to me or something like that. And I would love to see what you have to say. But yeah, y'all, I'm appreciative of everybody coming into the chat. Everybody who came through for this Mercury and Taurus transit that we have up and coming. Like I said, this Saturday, I will be going to the library to hopefully be able to record live Tomas and his discovery in the Mayan. It's Canuck and his discoveries, I should say, his research in these Mayan ruins. And thank you, love. I do appreciate you too. And hopefully we'll get the scoop and the one-on-one about what's happening of his discoveries, especially since I'm doing this astrocartography, astro traveling series and things like that. And also too, I would like to, I think something else I was saying. Oh, the astro traveling, me talking about some of the discoveries, I should say, from my language class that I got from a Mayan. He's an English professor, but he's from a small town in the Yucatan. But he also knows the Mayan language as well. Some of the stuff that him and some of the other people that I was with in this language class, this language exchange course, shared with me, that I want to share a little bit with y'all, and how they have colonization, y'all. We have to get this shit under wraps. Also, to the archivists out there, okay? We have to, there's some ways that I am thinking of, and I will share those ways of what we're thinking of, like sharing and spreading our memory. But we'll talk a little bit more about that on the Astro cartography series and things like that, because they are burning. They continue throughout history to burn our memories. They burn our documents. They burn our records. They burn our cities, right? And so our ways of connecting, and then also shame us for being who we are. And I'm not gonna get too deep into it. We're gonna talk about that on another video and everything like that. But we have to find other ways of like preserving our information, which is another thing. If we're talking about Mercury and Taurus, the first earth or the first land, because Mercury or Taurus is the first earth sign. Okay, and then also too, we have Mercury, the messenger god, of the ways in which we're sending and receiving messages and understanding messages as well. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that on this astrocartography series coming up. Like I said, it should be here on Sunday. Okay, but if not, like I said, I'll definitely update you. You can stay updated on the community tab, or you can also stay updated on my Substack by subscribing with your email. That link is down below in the description box. And yeah, you already know what it is. It's a Rainy Stone checking in, checking out without a doubt. I will see y'all on the next video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Share it with a friend. And deuces.